Denali Backcountry Lodge and Third Wave Productions brings you the trail to Beaver Pond. At the top of the driveway, just across the creek, head on down the road, and you'll see Fanny Quigley's house on the right hand side. It's locked, but you can take a tour with one of our guides. If you come to the back of Fanny Quigley's house, you will see this fairly obvious path, and that's the path you're going to take to Beaver Pond. It takes probably 30 minutes to get there, maybe a little longer, depending on if you stop or not, but well worth the journey. This is about halfway through the woods from right behind Fanny Quigley's house. This is you'll see the halfway point. It looks like it's an old outhouse toilet seat, tipped over, crushed by a tree apparently. And there's the trail of Fanny Quigley's, and as a matter of fact you can see Fanny Quigley's house right there. Just continue on the trail another 30-40 yards, and you'll come out into up onto your first tundra, 100-150 yards, and then down through a depression and onto the second part of the tundra before going to the pond. After coming out from behind Fanny Quigley's, you'll pass through some brush, and then there's this brush, and the trails look very obvious, and it'll take you across this kind of wet tundra, and then you'll go through another little depression. There'll be some more brush. There's this is about 100 yards, 150 yards, and then there'll be a little depression with some brush. You come up on the other side of that, and then you got about another 300 yards of tundra or so before you come to the edge of a small drop-off that overlooks Beaver Pond. Just follow the trail down through this brush. You see this pine on your right, and it's not but 10 or 15 yards of brush, and then you'll come into a clearing, and then the path will take you up onto the tundra. After you come through the little depression of brush, thick brush, it'll bring you up to the trail here, and if you just keep following that, it'll take you up to the tundra. Here's the path that leads across the tundra. Want to kind of stick to your right, and if you can follow this all the way across, you're going to go to the far right side. There's going to be a little drop off and some pine trees, and then another drop off where the trail goes down to the pond. So you can't get lost. You can also go through the tundra to the right. There's a couple more trails over there, and if you can find the farthest one over, it'll take you straight to the end of the tundra. About halfway through the tundra, this is what you'll see, and here's the path, and you'll just be heading right down there, just to the right of those trees. Go down the hill, across the little brook, and to the pond. This is the trail. As you come across to the end of the tundra, you want to stick to the right. There's a plateau up here off to your left, and then there's a drop, as you can see, and then there's this one lone pine, and that's the trail kind of leads to the left of that. So just continue there, and then follow the trail down the hill, across the creek. After passing through the tundra, you'll come to the end of the trail, and there you'll see Beaver Pond, and there's a trail that leads down the hill. It's pretty straightforward. There's some brush and stuff that covers it, but you'll end up down just to the left of those. Actually, you come between those two big pine trees, and then you come into a little clearing, and there'll be a little stream to cross before you cross over and walk over to the beaver pond. If you look closely down at the end, you'd be able to see the beaver dam, their home, and your ultimate destination. Maybe you'll be lucky enough to see a beaver like I did. After you come through the tundra and down the path, down the hill, come on the trees. You're coming out here, these trees here. You just pass over this small little creek, and it's a simple crossing. And then just kind of make your way through the brush there. Keep as close as you can to the pond on the right hand side. It's pretty easy to get through, and never had to cut back once, so aren't too many roadblocks. And here I am at Beaver Pond. Had a seat on the tundra and had part of my sandwich. Listen to the peacefulness. Very quiet. Occasional fly, maybe a bird. You can hear the river off in the background. Here's another side of Beaver Pond. Let's trek through the tundra a little bit. Don't see any sign of fish in the pond. That's where I was sitting just a little while ago, right back next to that tree there. The big one in the middle. So. Being very quiet, 'cause this is where the beaver came from. There was actually 2 of them. I just saw one over in this area a few minutes ago, and yeah, that one jumped when he heard me. Move. Far into the lake now. There's their house. I just saw one go in. He was being very quiet. Ran away, went underwater, just with his nose sticking out. But he went in right there in the middle. So that's apparently home. This is my little hideaway. Nice little spot here. Right next to the lake. Great, nice, flat, spongy. Excellent place for a picnic. Or something else, possibly. Nice little spot, very quiet, very peaceful. A blanket, a bottle of wine. Who knows? Maybe a little beaver will swim by. Something. It's a little spot I was telling you about. Plenty of room for a blanket. Very comfortable. And a beautiful spot. Ain't much better than this. Not a human manufactured noise anywhere around except my voice. Get the river off in the background. The birds chirping. Otherwise relatively quiet. Back at the end of the pond, closest to the lodge. That's the pond down that way. You swing over here, you have Alpha, I guess that's Alpha, on the right. And this is where the trail back up into the tundra that leads to Fanny Quigley's cabin is. So if you go into those trees right there, you'll find the trail that heads up the hill, and then you leads across the tundra back. This has been a Denali Backcountry Lodge and Third Wave Productions presentation.